friends and haters, hello and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, what's up? My name is Erica. Thanks for clicking on this video. I hope you like it. If you do, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you like the vibe. We are now on Vlogmas day 2. I'm super excited. I do love Vlogmas. I really like, kind of challenging myself and trying to get through the entire December season with lots of uploads. I hope you guys are liking it so far, even though, it's only the second vid, but that's okay. Today I'm coming at you with some fitness tips for the holidays. Now I know a lot of you that follow me on Instagram as well as here on YouTube are people who are also very involved in fitness. I myself, I love health and wellness and fitness, and I incorporate fitness into my life. And I definitely have a very flexible view on fitness. Like, I love it, and it's something I do, nearly 6 days out of the week when I'm really on top of it, I should say. I'm not crazy busy with work. I'm definitely very, very active and very involved in the gym, but I'm also not necessarily someone who's crazy strict with myself when it comes to calories or weighing myself 24/7 and doing 24,000 hours of cardio and things like that. So I feel like I have a very balanced approach when it comes to health, wellness, fitness, food. I thought it'd be kind of nice to talk about navigating the holiday season. I'm someone who, I love the holidays. I love Christmas. Thanksgiving is actually my favorite holiday of the year. Christmas is probably a close second. I really love those holidays where you get to be with your loved ones, where, you're eating tons and tons of food and you're just spending quality time with people that you really love and care about. There's definitely more social gatherings, and there's so much food at these gatherings. I feel like a lot of people do going on nights out and things like that as well, a little bit more. And I think if you're on a fitness journey of some kind, it can be a little bit hard to navigate, especially depending on your approach. I feel like I've gotten to the point where I kind of know what does and doesn't work for me during the holiday season to kind of stay on track to an extent with my fitness goals, but also still being able to enjoy all the incredible aspects of the festive holiday season. I want to kind of start out with these tips by saying that no matter what your fitness goals are, if it's weight loss, weight gain, building muscle, losing fat, whatever your fitness goals are, if it's just maintaining where you're at and feeling healthy, you will not lose progress from just taking a few days off or from taking a little bit more of a relaxed approach through the holiday time. I actually recently just took nearly 2 weeks off the gym because I was in a car accident, Thanksgiving came, and then I can't get to the gym where I live, and I have lost no physical signs of progress. Sure, maybe when I go back to the gym this week, I might, maybe be a little bit heavier, I might be a little bit more sore, but your body can bounce back. There's a thing called muscle memory. Your muscles and your body know what they're doing. So though a few days off or a couple days of, maybe eating a little bit more or, moving a little bit less, it's not going to ruin any of your progress, no matter what your fitness goals are. Now, I do think that you should be taking a little bit of time off during the holiday season, unless, of course, you have a big goal to be training for example, marathon training, an Ironman training, a competition coming up for something. I definitely think you should take some time off during the holiday season, but with that being said, still stay active. So I know for me, I'm someone who I am usually pretty active. I mean, on a good week, I have about 5 to 6 workouts a week. If I'm not getting the higher amount of workouts, I'm still trying to get my steps up, to the 8 to 10 to 12,000 or so. But I don't track them necessarily very closely. I just try to remember, I'm like, oh, you know what? I haven't moved too much today. Go for a quick, 20-minute walk just to get the blood flowing a bit. I think still try and get in some movement. So even if you're not necessarily going to the gym every single day or, whatever your normal routine is, still try and go, once or twice. And if you're not going as much, also try and get in a walk or something like that. Do some yoga, something that still keeps your body moving. I think a lot of people forget until it's almost too late that the gym and movement is so good for your brain that when you don't do it for necessarily too long, then you get stressed, you get anxious and all this feelings and emotions pent up, and then you feel not great when you go back. I think still staying active and still keeping some movement within your day-to-day as much as possible leading up into the holidays is definitely something that will help you through the holidays overall. I mean, I know, say my gym, definitely use clothes a little bit more throughout Thanksgiving and Christmas break and things like that. Because again, because people again want to be prioritizing their loved ones and their family and just some of that downtime and time to rest. Resting is just as important as getting in a good workout. So I think finding that balance of rest and movement is important. I know my goal for the holidays period is to try and get at least half of my workouts in. So rather than going for like, you know, a solid like 5 or 6, I'm trying to aim for like three, maybe 4. I think something like that really helps. With that being said, I think then trying to find a way to keep yourself accountable is also very helpful. So if you're someone who usually go to the gym and just lift weights, make sure you write it down, put it on a schedule. I feel like if things are written down, you're more likely to do them. I don't remember if that's a scientific thing. I just know for myself, if it is written on a notepad, I am going to check it off and do it. And keeping yourself accountable some way, if it's making a list or that schedule of the gym days, and especially when you're being invited to parties and social gatherings, yeah, look at the days you might have a social gathering and the day after that be like, okay, yeah, this day I'm gonna go to the gym. Or if you can find that time in the earlier morning of that day, just kind of schedule out that time so that you're not feeling too crazy and feeling too pressured. If you have it written down and have it kind of scheduled loosely, it's gonna make it a bit easier. But then holding yourself accountable as well as, again, you know, if it's written down, you check it off, you're good to go. If you're someone who you go to like fitness classes, booking the class ahead of time rather than being like, oh yeah, I'll get there and I'll book it. No, schedule them ahead of time and book it ahead of time, because then you're more likely to go and then you'll feel better for having had gone. Another fitness tip that I think no matter what type of fitness goal you are working towards is very beneficial is drink your flippin' water. It doesn't matter what your fitness goals are, drinking water is so healthy for your body. And if you are drinking water and hydrated, then your body isn't necessarily gonna crave the types of things that you think it's craving. A lot of people make this mistake, especially now, this is a little bit more geared towards weight loss. A lot of people, when they don't drink enough water, they then think they're hungry, but their body is actually dehydrated. So what happens though is that they think they're hungry, so they go and try and find a snack, but it's not satiating because that's not what your body actually is wanting. So you keep eating all these little things, you know, next thing you know, all your calories, you've eaten, you know, 500-600 calories of snacks, but you're not full or satiated. Drinking water will keep you satiated, it will keep your body full, it will keep your body doing all the things it's meant to be doing to help you as well. No matter what, if it's weight loss, weight gain, drinking water is just something that's just important to life. So make sure that you are drinking enough water. But overall, I believe the average human should be drinking at least about 3 liters of water a day. I know I try to aim for about 4 liters on a good day. And so big tip with that is that have a big cup, have a big water bottle. There's especially so many big bottles nowadays that are like half-gallon bottles that literally are like the size of my leg. So have a water bottle, try and make sure you're filling it up throughout the day and that you're drinking it on top of all the other bevies that you're going to be enjoying. Now that actually leads me into my next tip, which is drink smarter, not harder. If you guys have been on this channel before, you know I love a good bevy, a beer, a wine. You know, when I met my moms, I definitely had a lot of Baileys in my coffee and things like that. Nothing is wrong with consuming alcohol, and obviously I have the legal age and all that too, you know. Cool. But if you're someone who has fitness goals, I think it's also then important to kind of take into consideration how much you're consuming and making sure you're drinking at a pace where you're not going to be over drinking, where you're then going to be hungover, because obviously no one likes a hangover. They're just not fun. That also kind of ties in with still drinking a good amount of water throughout the day. If you drink a lot of water throughout the day, you have, you know, a cheeky amount of bevies at night, you're not going to be hungover because your body's going to be hydrated from the day. Or that being said, I know this is a rule that I think they teach us in like health ed in like the 6th grade, where it's like drink water for every drink that you have. So if you have a glass of wine, then drink a glass of water. A shot, technically then a glass of water. So either trying to equal out how much water per alcohol that you're drinking, you know, minimize the risk of like hangover and not feeling good the next day. Because imagine you're planning to work out the next day, go for a run, but then you're hungover. You're not gonna do a workout. You're not gonna go for a run because you're gonna be like all day long. I think one thing is also a kind of nice tip that I definitely kind of think about is what you're specifically drinking. For example, yeah, it's fun to have a nice, you know, Christmassy cocktail, but is it something that's like full of, you know, super sugary drinks on top of the alcohol? I think that's something that people don't always remember, that Definitely here and there is completely fine, but obviously if you're having a lot of them, that's just something to be mindful of. Now, when it comes to having like smarter options during the holidays, like you make those kind of smarter choices with your alcohol consumption, you can also do things like that with your food consumption. Now, I'm not someone who necessarily, I don't ever like to think of food as like good or bad. I think everything in moderation is completely fine, but I think it is nice to find options that work for you and your routine. For example, you know, I'm someone who, I definitely love sweet treats. The holiday time is filled with sweet treats. You know, my sister-in-law has an incredible pie that she makes. And then her mom makes this delicious like chocolate Oreo trifle that's stacked with, oh, it's incredible. You know, if you're going to a holiday party, sure, have a few of those. But if you also are someone who likes to enjoy those at home, I think finding some different options to make at home that also might leave you a little bit more satiated could be really beneficial. I know me and my boyfriend were actually having a conversation about the difference in like our kind of like diets and food habits, and he made a joke that he probably eats about 500 calories worth of like chocolate bars throughout the day at work, where I definitely don't necessarily do that because, say for example, I might have like a chocolate protein bar that's, you know, 200 something calories, but it's higher in protein. It's gonna leave you more satiated. Little types of things to be aware of like that are gonna really help you no matter what your fitness goal is. I always try and think of, you know, keeping your protein higher. If you have anything sweet wise that has protein, or you can add like a protein powder too, it can be beneficial. I mean, I personally do enjoy using supplements. They are there to supplement your diet and your routine. And in times when it comes to desserts, I find a lot of ways to kind of incorporate higher protein, higher satiating desserts into my routine and into the holiday period. I know I actually am going to be coming out with a video later in Vlogmas that's like, you know, sweet treat alternative, something like that. But for example, like one thing that I make that I know Charlie and me really love is like a oat lava cake, basically. So taking something like, you know, oats, making them into a quick powder, mixing with like a chocolate protein, adding like a dollop of peanut butter or Biscoff or Nutella in the middle, a splash of almond milk, something like that. That's going to be absolutely delicious. It is around, I want to say, a little bit higher in calories and say like maybe a standard chocolate chip cookie, but the difference is something that little oat lava cake is going to be higher in protein, going to leave you more filled longer compared to like, you know, a Nestle Toll House chocolate chip cookie that you're gonna have like 4 or 5 of them. That's gonna be like triple the amount of calories that say like the oat lava cake would be. Knowing some of those types of things can definitely help. So I always try no matter what and keep my protein intake a bit higher within those sweet treats as well. And then I think my last tip is do not restrict yourself. Just enjoy. I know it can be a little bit easier said than done, especially depending on you and your relationship with food and things like that. I think one of the biggest mistakes that people do make within their fitness journey within the holiday season is over restricting themselves and then over binging what they were restricting. A lot of people, I think, especially say on things like Thanksgiving, they won't eat breakfast, they'll save up for that big, you know, Christmas dinner, that big holiday dinner. What happens is a lot of times, especially, people will like snack throughout the day and then they're thinking like, oh yeah, but I didn't have breakfast, but they're still snacking on things that, you know, a bag of chips here, a chocolate bar here, a muffin, a cheese stick, things like that, that still are gonna add up to a few hundred, 1,000 or so, who knows how many calories, because again, in their brain, they didn't eat breakfast. But then what happens is that when you go to that big dinner, that holiday party, you are likely gonna binge and definitely overeat and then feel full and then just not necessarily feel too great. Now, I am not a professional and I've personally never struggled necessarily with like an eating disorder or binge eating tendencies. So if you have, definitely seek some you know, professional advice from someone who might be able to give you some different types of tips on that specific area, just because I'm not a professional and I have no experience with those types of relationships with food. I hope this has helped some of you. I know this is the types of things that kind of changing my mindset within some of these different things within the holiday season have helped me maintain a good level within my fitness journey, as well as still being able to find the balance of enjoying the holidays and like, you know, enjoying in the holidays, enjoying alcohol and, you know, sweet treats and things like that, but still staying like in line with my fitness goals at the same time. So I hope you can maybe take away 1 or 2 of these like kind of fitness tips and then they might be a bit helpful for you. If you did find them helpful, please definitely give this a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new as well. Again, I'm just really excited for Vlogmas. I'm excited for some of the ones I've planned. But if you have any ideas or anything that you want to see from me for Vlogmas, leave a comment down below so I can add them to my list and see if I can incorporate them within my, Vlogmas video plan. Regardless of if you really found any of these tips more helpful than the other, I hope you take away that it's okay to slow down during the holidays and enjoy food and alcohol and things like that a little bit more, but still wanting to have fitness goals. You're not a bad person for wanting to have a chocolate bar and eat a slice of cake or want to work out. I think sometimes there's a weird stigma within the fitness industry of either no days off, work hard, play hard, and things like that. But I think you can be in that middle ground. You can be someone who wants to stay active because it makes you feel good, because it makes your brain feel good, but also want to enjoy a beautiful glass of red wine with your family. But besides that, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you are still here, comment star. And that's it. Goodbye!